Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the Dr. C channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. And this is gonna be a different kind of video. Not a product review or demonstration of any kind. In fact, it's not about a product at all. It's more of a look behind the scenes of what I'm doing to review stuff. And it'll be in fact about this little thing over here. This is a FPV camera comparison rig that I made. I drew it up in Fusion 360 and I 3D printed it, and there's some electronics on it, as you can see, and two FPV cameras. So the intent of this thing is to be able to fairly compare two FPV cameras. And yes, the electronics on this thing are meant to record the footage from the two cameras. So not over the air, so I'm not recording it with a receiver and then have a goggle, for instance, DVR record things. So there shouldn't be any interference in the recordings, and therefore we should only be looking at the differences in cameras. That's the intent of this thing over here. Let me first show you how I made the structure, the plastic parts of this jig over here. And after that I'll also do a demonstration of how things work, and I'll tell you what electronics I used and why. And yeah, let's see how I drew this thing up. Here we go. Alrighty, we're in Fusion 360, and this project is made out of two separate items. The base plate that you see here, and the handle, the grip. And this is the grip, and no, it's a grip. It's not meant to be anything else. It's a grip. Okay, I'm no master in Fusion 360 at all. So this won't be a tutorial. I'm just going to tell you what I did and why I did the things I did. So what you see, this is over here, this is the front of the jig. And let's zoom in a little. Over here you see one hole and another hole. These two protrusions, those are the camera mounts. I'll be using, as you'll see in a minute, I'll be using the camera mounts that come with the cameras themselves. Most cameras come with an aluminium mounting bracket, right? So I intended to use that, and these holes are for the screws to go in, right? Two screw holes. And these little knobs are to align the mounting brackets. So both cameras face the exact same way. Which is important, of course, because I want to shoot identical footage with both cameras. I hope that makes sense. Okay, behind that we see two mounting platforms. These four protrusions are one mounting platform, and these four over here are one mounting platform as well. The left one, this one is a little bigger. That's for a full size, if you will, quadcopter part. And yeah, the left DVR I'm using is slightly bigger, and this one is of a micro, so 20 by 20 size. This is only a DVR that's going to be mounted over here. Over here I'm going to be mounting a DVR combined with a VTX. Okay, and at the rear, over here you see an antenna mount. Pretty simple. Yeah, so this one will have a VTX, and I wanted to mount the FV antenna, and that's this thing for. Now originally I had this thing drawn up in the middle, but well, that didn't really fit. The antenna wire was simply too short. So yeah, this definitely, it wasn't the first version. And if you ever go and design something like this, you shouldn't try to make the first version perfect. Just get started quickly, print something, and then you'll see what's wrong with it. And that'll work a lot faster. Okay, it looks like a Swiss cheese, right? With all these holes. Yeah, that's partly to save plastics in printing, but also to route wires around, make it a little more rigid as well, this base plate, but mostly to be able to route wires or keep them out of the way or out of sight. Yeah, there's no real planning in how or where these holes are, but well, they are meant to enable me to route wires to the underside of this plank. Okay, and on the bottom of this plank is one extra hole which doesn't go through all the way, this one, and that's where the handle will slot into. Yeah, so what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, it's pretty hard to be super duper precise in 3D printing, especially on a very small scale. So these four protrusions have little pegs on them, right? Those will slot into the quadcopter parts board, logic boards, the VTX and the DVR. And at first I had those pegs on all four corners, but it's very hard to really make that fit well. So I just went with two, and that works out just fine. And yeah, I did some fillets to round off corners and stuff, and yeah. Okay, so the grip itself is far simpler, of course. It's simply a circle. Hello, circle, which you then and sketch. Let's go to the beginning of this one. So you then extrude that circle. It's a double circle to make it hollow, right? It doesn't need to be a solid structure, this. And let's see, yeah, I made a top to it to make the top solid. Then I made another little circle and extruded that, and that'll slot into the base plate. And let me see, yeah, and this way of showing you stuff doesn't really work out well. I drew up this thing here, this random plate, right? And as you can see, it intersects with the cylinder at a few points, right? And then I revolved this plate 360 degrees, which made things look like this. Oh, isn't that marvelous? Yeah. So, that's it. Did some filleting to make it really smooth, yeah, cool stuff. And then you end up with a grip. Now that's really simple, but of course there's some measuring involved. How wide this has to be to fit a hand well, how high it needs to be to fit a hand well, but once you've got that done, it's pretty simple to draw this up, of course. Okay, so I then, of course, printed it on the Ender 3 from Creality, and I'll have a link to my playlist of 3D printing memory printers and such, and tutorials. This is printed in PLA, both this yellow stuff and this grey stuff is from Hobby King. Simple PLA, nothing spectacular. And yeah, it's more than strong enough. At first I printed a base plate of 1 centimeter in height, but that really wasn't necessary. This is 6 millimeters in height now, which is more than enough. Okay, the electronics on this board. 2 FPV cameras. This jig is meant to compare 2 FPV cameras, right? So this left one, the right one for you, or the orange one. Yeah. This one is a Runcam Eagle 2 Pro. and that's basically my reference camera. Now I'm not completely sure if that's a good choice. It's an top of the line. It's not an inexpensive camera. I could have gone with a Swift 2 maybe. You tell me, is this a good reference camera? It's a very good camera. So yeah. Okay, so and this is the camera I'd be testing. I just have this is an FXT camera I'm testing. So, well, this one over here would be the camera I'd be comparing to my reference camera. Right. So behind that you got two logic boards, quadcopter parts. And in a minute I'll show you why I didn't use two identical DVRs. However, the DVR part in this one, this is an LDARC. I'll have links to all the electronics I used in the description of this video, so you can see what I actually used, and well, maybe you want to compare things. Okay, so this is an LDARC DVR and it only records, that's it. This is an AKKtek VTX+DVR, right? And again, in a minute I'll show you why this one I chose to have a VTX for. However, the VTX parts of these two boards are identical. I've already run tests to compare the DVRs and they kind of look identical to me. Same bitrate and all. So that shouldn't interfere in the comparison I make. Obviously both have an SD card slot and both have a little button over here. There's a button to start stock recording on the AKKtek, and on the LDARC you've got a button over here as well. Same deal. They both have an LED to show you if they are in fact recording. And that's basically it. And yeah, this VTX obviously also has a button to set up the VTX part. And that is it. Let's do a demonstration. Here we go. Okay, so the entire set is powered by one LiPo. I only need a small LiPo, of course. This is a 3-cell, but I can power the entire system with a 2 to a 6S LiPo. Now the last thing, why am I using a VTX over here and a DVR over here, just a DVR? Well, this way I can check what exactly I'm pointing the cameras at by adding a FPV screen like this. Let me actually power stuff up. There, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see what the screen shows. I'm outdoors, LCD screen, but this way I can check exactly what I am pointing the rig at. Maybe I want to concentrate or only have a dark spot in view to test transitions, right? Like so. Stuff like that. So this way, with the VTX on the system, I can actually check what I'm pointing the cameras at. Yay! Okay, and so when I'm recording stuff, I first press this button over here to start recording over there, and this button on the DVR, the LDARC DVR, and both. You probably won't be able to see that, but there's a red LED blinking over here and a red LED blinking over here, indicating that both are recording, and then you do a time sync thing to sync the footage up. And well, let me end the video by showing you a side-by-side comparison of these two cameras. This is not a review of either of these two cameras, of course. But I'll end the video with that. I hope you found this interesting, useful, inspiring, whatever. Tell me in the comment section below. I'll be interested to see if this kind of video is well received. And catch you on the next video. Bye bye.